Okay, great. So, good evening, good early afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Okanagan College Business JumpStart. I'm so happy that you could be here with me today virtually. So my name is Melanie, and I'm one of the advising and recruitment coordinators in the School of Business at Okanagan College. I was actually a student at Okanagan College many years ago, and in 2015, I graduated with my Bachelor of Business Administration, Human Resources Management specialty. Since I graduated, I've been working at OC in a variety of different areas. So I've worked in recruitment, advising, international education, co-op and student employment. And I'm really happy to be here today, and I hope that I get to meet you in person soon. So like I mentioned, this is going to be recorded. So if you miss anything or you want to go over it, I will send the recording out to you. So here is the agenda for this afternoon. I'm going to start by briefly talking about the different programs in business at Okanagan College. I'm going to show you how to register for classes, including a demo of ClassFinder. Give you some sample first year courses and schedules and recommendations for programs, talk to you about different student services and opportunities for you as a student in the School of Business. And then at the end, I'll answer any questions. So if you have any questions throughout the presentation, you can just put them in the chat and I'm going to answer them at the end. You can keep your camera on, or you could turn it off during the presentation if you prefer, but I have muted you so you won't be able to unmute yourself until the very end. So again, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I will get to them at the end. So let's get started. Okay, so here are some statistics that we're really proud of about our business programs. So all of our business programs are very applied. You're going to have lots of group projects, presentations, assignments to apply what you learn in your lectures, which really prepares you for your career after you graduate. So I just wanted to share some of these statistics with you. And these are from our 2016 Bachelor of Business Administration graduates. So as you can see, students were very satisfied with their education. They found what they learned was helpful in performing their jobs, and they're employed in their field. So thank you for choosing us for your business education. So now on your screen, you should see 5 different business credential umbrellas that we offer. And if you're here today, you're very likely in one of these programs starting this year. To give you a better idea of how long each program is, a bachelor's degree is usually 40 courses or 4 years if you study full-time. A diploma is usually 20 courses and 2 years if you're studying full-time. And a certificate is usually less than a year to 2 years, and it really ranges in the number of courses that you take. So throughout this webinar, I'm going to be using the word specialties probably quite a lot. And that's because specialties is our word for majors. So often you hear students majoring in a certain area. Well, our word for that is specialties. You can only choose one major for your program. And these are the specialties that we offer in the Bachelor of Business Administration program and the Business Administration Diploma. So these are the specialties we have on the screen here: accounting, finance, general studies, human resources, management, marketing, and tourism and hospitality. So if you've taken courses at another college or university in the past, you could be eligible for transfer credit. So we can't actually assess your courses unless you submit an official transcript from the previous institution you were at. So that'll need to come directly from the college or university that you were studying from in a sealed envelope or faxed or emailed directly from that institution. You'll also need to complete a transfer credit request form, which you can find in your My Okanagan account or on our website. And you may also need to pay an assessment fee if you completed courses at a college or university outside of British Columbia. So in order to request transfer credit, the courses you completed at another college or university must have been, you must receive a minimum grade of 50% there, and you have completed the course within the last 10 years, and it was completed at an accredited post-secondary institution. If we've never seen this course before, so we've never assessed it in the past, we may request a course outline from you, which you can usually get by contacting your previous college or university. There are deadlines to request transfer credit, so I have those on the screen there. July 15th is the deadline for this upcoming fall. You can submit these requests past this date. It's just not guaranteed that it'll be assessed by the first day of classes in September, for example. Okay, so if this is your first time studying at Okanagan College, you probably have lots of questions about how to register for classes, and I am going to show you how to do that today. Okay, so this is what My Okanagan looks like. I referenced My Okanagan a little while ago, and My Okanagan is the online student portal where you can track your application, register for classes, pay fees, find forms like the transfer credit request form. You can request transcripts and lots more. You're going to get to know it very well during your studies. Here's a few more features of My Okanagan. So things like applying for financial aid, booking group rooms, lots of features. So to log into your My Okanagan, if you haven't already done it, you're going to type in my.okanagan.bc.ca, and then a login page like this is going to show up. So to log in, you're going to enter your student number, which is going to start with 300, followed by @stu.oc because you're students, and that's all on the page here. If this is your first time logging in, your password is going to be your birth date, and then you'll be prompted to change your password. So if you changed your password a couple months ago and you can't remember what your password is, you can contact our IT department through one of the options on the screen here, and they'll be able to reset that for you. Okay, so once you've logged into your My Okanagan, you're going to follow 3 steps to register for classes, and I'll go through all these steps in more detail as well. So step 1, you're going to use Class Finder to design your schedules. Step 2, you're going to register in your My Okanagan account during your designated time for the classes that you'd like to register for. And step number 3 is you're going to pay for your tuition. Okay, so here are the 3 features that you'll use in My Okanagan during the registration process. So this is where you'll find Class Finder, and I'm going to go through this as well when I share my screen. That's where you'll find registration, so you'll actually register for your classes. And then that is where you'll go to find out how much you owe for tuition. So I'm going to do a demo in Class Finder in a few minutes, but before I do that, I just wanted to give you a few tips and clarify a few things. So when you're looking at courses for this upcoming fall and winter, you're going to see a few different options for campuses. So there's going to be online, there's going to be distance education, and then there's going to be an on-campus option. So I'm going to go through the difference between these briefly, just so that you can have a better idea and decide which one is best for you. So the online campus is professor-led, and you're going to have designated class times for this. It's just like an on-campus class, but your classroom is going to be held virtually through a platform like Zoom or Collaborate. There are going to be deadlines for assignments, and you're also going to have group work, even though it's in a virtual setting. Distance education, the campus, that is self-led. So you're not going to have any designated meeting times, and your professor is going to act as your tutor. You can go to them for questions, but they're not going to be running any live classes. There's still going to be deadlines, and there can be group work as well. So finally, on-campus classes at our Kelowna Penticton, Vernon, or Salmon Arm campuses, those are exactly like what they sound like. So these are classes that are on campus in a physical classroom, professor-led. You're going to have weekly meeting times, and there's going to be deadlines and group assignments. You'll need to physically be on campus for these classes. So under the on-campus option, you may also notice some hybrid classes. So these classes have some designated meeting times and some online activities that you'll do on your own time. It's basically a combination of online and on-campus classes, and there is a note of this in these type of classes in ClassFinder. So these are the different options. So once you build a schedule in ClassFinder, this is what it's going to look like. So I just came up with a pretend schedule here, and this is what it looks like. So ClassFinder, which I'm going to go over, it's just the course catalog. It's not going to actually register you in your classes, but I will tell you how you can register for your classes once you do pick out your classes. So you can start planning your classes today, and schedules are posted for both fall and winter semesters for the upcoming academic year. So you should have already received a registration time ticket, or you're going to receive one really soon via email, letting you know the earliest date and time that you can register for your fall and winter classes. You can register anytime after this date and time. So when you're ready to register, you can log into your My Okanagan account, click registration, then add or drop, select a term. So you're going to select first fall and then winter, and then you can enter the CRN codes. So the CRN codes are the codes that correspond to each class, and I'll show you where you can find them during the ClassFinder demo. So big important thing, remember to pay for your tuition after you register for your classes. So tuition for fall is due August the 17th, and tuition for the winter is due December the 14th. You can change your schedule after this if you change your mind about your classes, but all classes do have a maximum number of students allowed per class. So you do want to register early just to make sure you're getting the classes and times that you want. Okay, so I'm going to switch my screen and then I'm going to do a ClassFinder demo. But before that, I'm just going to quickly check the chat. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to reshare my screen, and you should be able to see my view of my Okanagan. Okay, so I was kind of showing you what this looks like. What we're going to be going to today, and yours should look very much like this, is ClassFinder. So ClassFinder is that online course catalog. Okay, so this is what ClassFinder looks like. So as you can see, we have the term options here, campus options here, subjects here, instructors here, and you can also search courses by code as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a mock schedule and just walk you through, show you a couple issues you might run into so that if you do get them, you'll know what to do. Okay, so I am going to build a schedule for a first year business administration diploma students. So I've chosen fall 2021, followed by BUAD for business because I know the courses that I'm looking for. And further in the webinar, I will go over the different courses you should be registering in depending on what program you're in. So I've chosen BUAD, and now I have this very long list of courses. So it's gonna go on for quite a while, and I'm not gonna go that far. But as a first-year business administration diploma student, I want to register in Financial Accounting 1. And this time works for me. So I see the class, the name. If I click on it, I can see the description, if there's any prerequisites, no prerequisites, perfect. Monday, Wednesday, 2 to 3:20 works for me. It's in Kelowna, perfect. And Dean Warner is the professor. And it's available, so this class is not yet full. So I'm gonna add that to my schedule. And now I have one course in my mock schedule. That's what it looks like. Now I'm gonna add another course. And this time I'm going to look for management principles. So I'm gonna scroll down and I know the code is BUAD 123. So I have found it here. So management principles is here. And this time works for me, Monday, Wednesday, 3:30 to 4:50. So I'm gonna add that to my schedule. And that does work for my schedule. So I don't have any classes overlapping, but I do have 10 minutes between my classes. So as you can see, this space here looks quite large, but in reality, I finish my class at 3:20 and I start the next one at 3:30. And 10 minutes is enough time for me. So I'm gonna let that work. Okay. So next class I want to register for is computer applications. I want to register for 5 classes this upcoming semester, and I know the course code is BUAD 128. So I have all of these different options here. But I don't have any classes yet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I want to go to class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm going to add that to my schedule. And now you can see what it looks like. So I've got 3 classes, and so far I'm going to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all my classes are on campus. Okay, so if you're in a business administration diploma student, you will be taking classes that are different from business, such as communications and math. Those courses start with different course codes, so I'm not going to find them on this BUAD page. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom, search for more. So make sure I have Kelowna selected. And then I know communications, it starts with CMNS, so I have to change my subject. And I'm going to search again. So the class I'm looking for is CMNS 112, which is Professional Writing 1. And all students in the Business Administration Diploma and Bachelor of Business Administration must take this class. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I only have 1 class. This looks like a good time, 12:30 to 1:50. I'm going to add that to my schedule. Perfect. So now I have 4 classes and I want to add 1 more. This is the math class, so I'm going to have to change the subject again. And I'm going to find math on here. Math. And I'm going to search. So the class that I'm looking for is Math 114, Business Math. So I'm only at Math 42, so I've got a long way to scroll till I find it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to add Math 114, Section 7. That looks like a good time. Perfect. So now I have a schedule here and nothing is conflicting, which means I don't have any classes that are at the same time. You won't actually be able to register for classes if any of them overlap. So I'm going to try and find a class that is going to overlap just to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go back and just find a class that will show you what a conflict looks like. Okay, I think this one, well, professional sales, that might add a conflict. Yes. So as you can see, this notification will come up and it'll say, you can't take both of these at the same time because there is overlap between them. So this will come up if your times do conflict. So I'm going to remove that. So this is my schedule. This is the one I want to register for in July when I'm able to register for classes. A reminder that this will not save your schedule. So you'll either need to print this page out or write down all of these CRN numbers. All of these that are here. So that when you're ready to register for classes, you'll just enter those CRN codes. But this right now is just for planning your courses. It won't actually register you. So that's how you'll plan your fall schedule. And you'll follow the same process for your winter planning. You'll just change to winter 2022 and continue on. Okay. So that is the Class Finder demo. If I went a little bit too fast, again, I am going to send the recording out so you can watch it after. I'm also going to send a document that is a step-by-step guide too. So if you would prefer to read it, there's that option as well. Okay, so now that you know how to register for classes, you may be wondering which classes to register for. So we do have quite a few programs to go through. So I'm just going to quickly go through the recommended courses and sample schedules. And again, this is being recorded. So if you want to go back and pause when I send out the recording, that's totally fine. So most of the schedules are going to have 5 classes per semester, but you can take fewer if you wish. If you're an international student or you have a student loan or a scholarship or some sort of bursary, be sure to check what your minimum number of courses is required to be considered a full-time student. For international students, that's usually 3 courses per semester. And for student loan purposes, that's usually 3. But for scholarships and bursaries, there may be some stipulation in there. So just make sure you check that so that you don't get your awards taken away from you. Okay. So if you're in the Bachelor of Business Administration program or the Business Administration Diploma, this is what we recommend choosing for your first and second semester. So in your first semester, all of these courses are required courses that you have to take eventually, but this will set you up so that in your second year, you're able to take more electives. In semester 2, you're going to have a little bit of choice. So you'll see you have to take, there's a lot of ORs. So if you're in the Bachelor of Business Administration program, or you're planning on completing the Bachelor of Business Administration program after your diploma, you should register in either Econ 115 Microeconomics or Econ 125 Macroeconomics. If you are only planning on getting the diploma, then taking BUAD 113, Canadian Business, you can take that, and that's totally fine. You'll also have another choice, and that is a business elective. So a lot of your courses are already chosen for you, but you do have some electives. So I was talking about specialties earlier on, and these would be the electives you would take if you choose a certain specialty. So for example, if I want to specialize in marketing, or maybe I just want to try out marketing, I would register in BUAD 175 Professional Selling in my second semester as an elective. If I was planning on going into accounting, I could choose BUAD 121 Financial Accounting 2. You don't need to choose your specialty in your first year, and if you're not sure, that's fine, but some students do know from the beginning and they can choose their electives. Okay, so if you are in a post-baccalaureate program, I'm just providing sample schedules. These aren't the recommended courses. The reason being is that you should meet with an education advisor before you register for classes to make sure you're only taking the courses that you need to take. Because you already have a degree, you might receive some exemptions, and there's no use taking courses that you don't need to take. If you're in the post-bac accounting program and you have a degree from outside of Canada, we recommend getting both a CPA evaluation and a WES evaluation so that you know if your undergraduate degree is approved. A lot of students do want to pursue a CPA after they graduate, and knowing before you start this program could save you a lot of time and money once you graduate. If you are in the Post-Baccalaureate Diploma in Human Resources, again, this is just a sample schedule. You should definitely meet with an advisor to make sure that you are only taking the courses that you need and that you're not duplicating any courses. This would be for someone that has no previous business or HR education. If you're in the post-bac in marketing, same thing. So this is just a sample schedule. You should meet with an advisor because especially if you already have an undergraduate degree in business, you don't want to duplicate any of those courses. If you're in the Post-Baccalaureate Diploma in Marketing and Data Analytics, this is another sample schedule, and you should also meet with an advisor. Once again, we just don't want you to take courses that you may have already taken in your undergraduate degree because often that won't count and you'll have to take extra courses. So just meeting with an advisor, even if it's for 5 minutes, could save you a lot of time. So for a lot of our programs, we do have a lot of required courses. If you're in the Business Administration certificate, you have a lot of choice. So as long as it follows these guidelines, you can take it. I've made a sample schedule for someone who doesn't have any kind of business education, but has interest in marketing and maybe some management. So I've added courses like conflict resolution, negotiation, wine and culinary tourism, everything to give you a broad understanding of business, but also to fit your needs. If you're in this program and you're not sure which courses you should take, you can contact myself or one of the advisors and we can help design a schedule for you. And finally, if you're in one of the business studies certificates, these programs are designed to be completed on a part-time basis. So it's 1 to 3 courses per semester. And just due to prerequisites and time, if you'd like the program outline for these, you can email myself, and I've got my email address at the end of the presentation, or visit our website, and we've got all of those listed there. Okay, so now that you know how to register for classes and you have an idea of the classes you should take, I wanted to talk about some opportunities that are out there for you. There are opportunities outside the classroom to apply your learning and get the most out of your education. So as business students, there are national and international case competitions that you can compete in against other business schools, both nationally and internationally. In the past, OC students have placed in these competitions, and many actually received job offers at that competition. You also have the opportunity to take part in co-op work terms. So these are paid full-time work terms related to what you're going to school for. So employers are looking especially to hire students, and this can help you get experience while you're still in school, but you also get paid, so that's nice too. Then there's lots of clubs to get involved in too. Some popular ones for business students include Enactus, the Accounting Club, the Human Resources Club, and the Okanagan Business Students Association. These groups plan events, they compete against other colleges and universities, and they help students build connections with other students and professionals. Finally, if you have a dream of studying abroad after the pandemic is over and we're able to travel, BBA students actually have the opportunity to study in another country. And when I say BBA, I mean Bachelor of Business Administration students. And we do encourage this. So we have partnerships with 22 institutions in 16 countries all around the world. And it's countries like the United States, Japan, France, Germany, and there's many more. If you are a domestic student, so you're a Canadian or permanent resident, you will still pay domestic student fees while you're there. So international students pay quite a bit more, but you won't when you're studying abroad, and all of your courses will count towards your degree. And you don't need to speak another language because these are all English speaking countries. So makes it a little bit easier. And there's lots of services available to you as a student at OC. If you are planning on applying for a student loan, applications are now open at studentaidbc.ca. If you need help applying for your student loan or scholarships or bursaries, we do have a financial aid office who can help you with that. Another tip, you're going to need to purchase textbooks and materials for your classes. The textbook list is not yet out for fall and winter classes, but when it is, you can either come to one of our campus stores and pick that up, or you can order them online. But currently the list of textbooks isn't yet posted. So these are just some of the services that we offer. They are free to you and they're designed to make it easier for you, your experience, and also a little bit more enjoyable. So some important tips to remember. If you're studying on campus, you can pay for parking on a daily basis, or you can purchase a yearly or semester pass. So you'll be able to purchase parking passes on campus closer to September. And you're automatically enrolled in the Student Union Health and Dental Plan. So there's going to be a fee that's automatically going to show up once you register for classes. If you already have your own coverage or you're covered under someone else, maybe your spouse or your parent, you can submit proof to your student union and then you don't need to pay for their health and dental because you already have coverage. You can also submit your own photo for your student ID card, or you can wait until classes begin and you can get that done on campus. There is usually a little bit of a lineup for it, but who knows, you might just meet your next best friend in that lineup. I did mention in My Okanagan that you can book group study rooms there. So we do have group study rooms on campus that are free to book for students. You can book these in your My Okanagan, and students use them to study or use them for group projects or whatever that may be. Finally, your professors are there to help you. So ask them questions, take advantage of their office hours. So office hours is time that your professors actually set aside that is just for students. So it's time blocked out where they have nothing else to do. And my final tip, pay attention in class. Whether you're online or on campus, pay attention. So we do have some social media channels where you can keep up to date with important deadlines. You can learn more about what other students are doing in the community. You can find out about jobs, events, and more. We have a really great online community, and even if you're not a student yet, we would love to have you join and just be a part of that community. So to summarize everything, be sure to check out your My Okanagan before your classes start. Keep an eye out for your registration time ticket so that you know when you can register for your classes. So you may have already received that, but it might still arrive in a couple weeks. Registration for classes begins mid-July. So you can start planning your classes now, and then once you're ready to register, you can just enter those CRN codes and you'll be registered. Classes can fill up quickly and you can change your schedule, but be sure to register for both fall and winter classes so that you do get all the classes that you want. Make sure to pay your tuition on time so you don't get removed from your perfect schedule due to non-payment. You can ask advisors for help. So I'm just one of the people that can help you in the School of Business. We have 5 other advisors that can assist you. So there's quite a few of us that are there to support you, help you plan your classes, and make sure you're comfortable. Get involved. And finally, look out for information about orientation. So on-campus orientation is set to happen on September the 6th, and classes will begin on September the 7th. We'll send you an email about orientation, and you'll also see lots of posts on our social media about it in August. Okay, so thanks again for choosing Okanagan College and for spending the early evening, late afternoon with me. I hope you found this information helpful. I'm going to stop recording now, and then I'll take a look at the questions.